Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the final Warlong video that I'm going to be posting, unless I do the DLC, which I'm not planning on doing it yet, but we'll see about that. I'm not 100% sure yet. But this video is going to be like just a quick achievement guide and sort of roadmap for the game. This is probably something that I might do for a lot of the games that I upload onto the channel, if it's obviously big enough to warrant doing that. And if you guys think it's helpful for games, then I'll sort of absolutely keep doing them. This is just like on a Word document. It's nothing too sort of fancy, but I feel like it's got the information in there, so I don't think it really matters too much. So let's just get into it really. My sort of estimated difficulty is about 6 out of 10. The reason for that is just simply because of some bosses can be tough. And that's really it, really. Obviously, skill dependent. The game could be, quite a lot lower, or maybe harder than that, depending on how sort of good you are at sort of parrying and deflecting. So for me personally, I've run 6 out of 10, but obviously that is completely sort of skill dependent. The estimated time for the sort of 1000G or the Platinum Trophy or whatever, to me is about 30 to 35 hours. I've basically taken my playthrough, added up all the time that I've uploaded videos for, added on sort of a few hours extra as well, for any sort of hiccups with bosses or hiccups with collectibles and all that kind of stuff. So it's roughly about 30 to 35 hours, I think is sort of a rough baseline to get the completion. All the achievements are sort of offline / single player. I've also put the 0 online achievements, but all the achievements can be done in co-op as well. So technically speaking, all the achievements can be online achievements as well. But obviously, depending on which one you sort of prefer. But obviously, all of them, the main thing is all of them can be done sort of offline single player. There's no sort of missables or anything. There's sort of a free roam mission select after the final boss. There's no glitched achievements either, so that's good. And then also the minimum number of playthroughs is 1. Obviously they're just sort of free roam for any sort of missed achievements or collectibles that you do need to grab. So that is really good too. We love it when it's just one playthrough. That is sort of the best case scenario. And there's also no difficulty selection really until New Game Plus, so there's no sort of difficulty related achievements, which is again really good. It's a brief sort of introduction to the game. If you've not sort of seen the game, and you are sort of wanting to look at the achievements beforehand, then this is sort of there as well. So like I say, it's an action role-playing game. At the beginning of the game, you sort of create a character as you do, and you choose some sort of one of the 5 phases when you are sort of making your build. It's a Souls-like game developed by Team Ninja, and it also focuses quite heavily on a deflect or parry mechanic, kind of like Sekiro did. The game's very linear, offering sort of main battlefields as story missions and sub battlefields as side missions, with a hidden village working as a hub for upgrades. So blacksmith and all that kind of stuff. It's all in there. The game can be played solo or with up to 2 friends in co-op, which feels quite seamless. I feel like Souls games can be sometimes a nightmare to sort of do co-op with. But this one feels pretty good within the game as well. I've put as well that the bosses within the game can be quite challenging, but also quite fun to sort of learn the mechanics, attack patterns, and the deflect timings, if I can talk. If there's sort of any trouble with any of the bosses or anything, obviously I've got a full playthrough, all achievements playthrough, on the channel, a visual guide of me dying as well. So sort of the step 1 to the completion is just sort of doing the main story. As I said, there are no missables, so you can just sort of go at your own pace. You don't have to sort of worry about sort of getting a guide up to sort of get any sort of missables, because there isn't any. It's just going at your own pace, just getting through the main story, and obviously decide what build you want to make. I did Wood and Earth personally. Progress the story, the sub battlefields as and when you want. There's a number of sort of mission related achievements as well, and also collectibles, but obviously these can be obtained post game as well. because obviously there are no missables. So don't sort of like feel pressured to grab them as you are progressing, because you don't need to. You can get them after the story as well. I've made like a list of all the achievements you will get from doing the story, which is 27 achievements worth about 450G. So that's just sort of like from the main story and just sort of like general things that you will unlock, like say upgrading a weapon and getting like level 15, that kind of stuff, like stuff that you sort of like are guaranteed to get in the first playthrough. But as I say, there's like, yeah, about 27 achievements worth about 450 game score. And then step 2, quite simply, is just like the mop up. So once you've finished the story, beaten the final boss, you need to go through sort of like any sub-battlefields that you've missed, grab any collectibles, any sort of like miscellaneous achievements, like any sort of like mission achievements that you didn't get, and sort of like grab those now when you sort of like have the chance to do that. And then a list of all those achievements, in no particular order, are here as well, which is 24 achievements, totaling 550 game score, which together with the 450 from before equals the full 1000 gamer score as well. So that's all the achievements there. So I've done a sort of a quick sort of description on all the achievements as well, and how you can sort of like get them. I'll just sort of like go through them now, just so it's obviously all in one place. So this one is obviously, it's very, very self-explanatory. Unlock all the achievements. It is only base game. You don't need to sort of do the DLC or anything. So as I said, it is just sort of very, very self-explanatory there to get that one. The next one is one of the 4 collectibles in the game, and there's 31 of them in total, and you must collect all of the golden cicada shells and hand them in to get this achievement, because there is one collectible locked behind that achievement as well. And there is obviously a full guide for them in the playthrough that I did, so if you sort of want help with that, you can check out the playthrough that I did as well. The next one is to learn all the wizardry spells. This one, again, pretty simple. Just learn all the wizardry spells in the game. There are 2 sub-battlefields which are required to complete, in order to obtain this, as extra spells are sort of like locked behind these. And this is Wizardry Spell Mastery and the Scarlet Crystal sub-battlefields, which I think both can be found in sort of like the other section of the game. The next one is to join forces with all available warriors, and again, pretty self-explanatory. You just need to, you know, summon all the allies that you can in the game. A lot of them are used throughout your progression of the game. There's just sort of like a few that you sort of unlock that you don't actually get. The main 6 that you will be missing are Hangdang, Chengpu, Huang Gai, and those 3 can be summoned in the battlefield Wars Flames Blaze Fiercely, and then Zhang Lao, Zhang Zhao, and Jun Yu. These 3 can be summoned in the battlefield Decisive Battle of Guandu, and obviously once you've summoned those 6, that should probably be that achievement done for you after you've completed the main story as well. So next one is obviously use 10 Tiger Seals, which will very, very likely come with this joined forces with all available warriors achievements, just because you need to use Tiger Seals to summon them. So that will likely come with that anyway, and you also can use the Tiger Seals to summon players for co-op as well. So if you do play co-op, then that will come through that one as well. So the next one is to receive a Swarm Brothers boon for the first time. So to get this, you basically need to get an ally's oath level to 10. Oath levels are like a unique thing with each character, and as you sort of like do battlefields with them and kill enemies, that increases. And once that hits 10, they will give you an item in the sort of like delivery section of the battle flag, and then once you accept that item, then it'll get the achievement. A quick and easy way of getting that is to use the Cup of Cordiality item, which basically just gives them like a free oath rank instantly. So you see quite a few of them throughout the game. So that should be quite easy to get just with the Cups of Cordiality that you can find as well. So the next one is, again, another collectible one of giving somebody a certain amount of the golden cicada shells. And this one is obviously required as well for the World Red achievement. And again, I collect all of these in my playthrough of the game, so go check that out if you need help with it. The next one is another collectible, kind of, and this is for feeding all of the pandas in the game. And basically what you do is, you find a panda, you drop an item that you don't want, and then it eats the item and gives you another item in return. And once you've done all that to all of them, then that will pop for you. And again, I've got a guide of all them in my playthrough again as well. Then the next one is the last collectible in the game, which is for the Dragon's Cure Pot. And there's basically 2 items that like corresponds to this. There's Dragon Vein Crystals and Dragon Vein Essence. One increases the amount of Dragon's Cure Pot that you do get, and the other one increases the potency of it. And again, both need to be collected in every level, if there is one in the level. And again, I collect all them in my playthrough of the game, so go check that out if you need help with that. The next one is raising all the battle flags, which are essentially bonfires from like the Souls games. So some are obviously quite obvious, some aren't so much, and can be missed. But again, you can sort of like go back post game and grab anything that you do miss. And once again, I get all of them in my playthrough of the game as well. So next is dominating all main and sub battlefields. The achievements for completing all of the main missions and all the side missions of the game, all of which can be found from the travel menu inside the battle flag. Some unlock after sort of like main story progression, and some unlock post game too, so you will be sort of like looking post game to get this achievement anyway. The next one is equipping a full 4-star set of armor consisting of melee weapon, range weapon, accessory, and 4 armor pieces. Again, pretty self-explanatory. Every item in the game has a star rating, 1 star being the lowest, and 4 star being the highest before New Game Plus. The way I did it in my game was I just kept 4-star items for when I was sort of like done with the game, and then I just sort of like equipped them at the end of the game. You might get this before then. I wait for post game. I was pretty happy with my armor and stuff, so left it till post game or towards the end of post game, and just got that done with sort of like the leftover items that I had in my inventory. The next one is Heard the Blindfolded Boy's Decision, which is story related and can't be missed. The next one is Defeated UG, again story related and can't be missed. And then upgrade a piece of armor to its fullest capacity. And basically, you need to get a piece of armor to +9. You'll start to get like sort of like +9 leather towards the end of the game, and that's how you sort of like do that upgrade to +9. So it's gonna be sort of like later game when you do sort of like get this achievement. But again, pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory, not really hard to get because you do find quite a lot of the sort of like materials to do it. And the same sort of like applies to the weapon as well. Again, you get the weapon to +9, you find steel +9, rank 9 steel, towards the end of the game. And again, just same thing, just upgrade the weapon that you sort of like using. So the next one is Sworn Oath with Yuan Shao. Again, story related, can't be missed. Sworn Oath with Liu Bei. Again, story related, can't be missed. Sworn Oath with Lu Bu, story related, can't be missed. And then the next one after that is Reach Level 80. So basically, Chi in the game is sort of like the souls in Souls-like games, or you know, just general XP from every other game. And as you sort of like get that, you go to a battle flag, level up. Once you level up enough times to 80, the achievement will unlock. Will very likely come before you finish the game. But yeah, so thought I'd just mention that because obviously maybe it's a bit different if you've not sort of like played the game yet. Another one is story related to Can't Be Missed, which is Sworn Oath with Zhang Lao. But again, you can't really miss that. And the one after is another Swearing Oath, story related, can't be missed. And then after that one, you've got Fended Off 10 Invaders. This is for defeating invaders. It can be done in PvP, or if you don't like doing PvP, the game spawns over 10 NPC invaders as you sort of like progress through the game. So it'll come naturally, regardless if you are doing PvP or not. So After that one, you've got dominated 15 sub-battlefields. It says dominated, it just means cleared them. So this will come naturally whilst going towards the Hunting the Great Deer achievement for doing all of these sub-battlefields. The next one is swearing another oath with Hong Jing, story related, can't be missed, no need to worry about that one. The next one is side by side, so dominated 10 battlefields with a companion. So basically, some battlefields that you do solo, some have like AI companion with you. Complete 10 battlefields with an AI companion, and the achievement will unlock, essentially. Next one, again, is story related and can't be missed. Sworn oath with Sun Si and Sun Quan. And the one after that is also story related and can't be missed. So the next one is the first sort of like level specific achievement on this list anyway. So in this mission, of the Centuries of Glory Burned Away, you'll come across like a big dragon that sort of like shoots electric at you. And basically, you need to hurt the dragon enough. So I think it's like 3/4 of its health. And it'll like, sort of like fly away, and then the achievement will unlock. In that area with the dragon, there is like an archer tower somewhere that's quite close to it. And if you stand in the archer tower, it's got like a roof on it. The dragon's electric can't actually hit you, so that's a good place to sort of like do, to sort of like hit it from there with like a bow or whatever. But once again, that is sort of like in my playthrough. I did that in that same mission, so if you need sort of like a visual guide for that, that is there as well. And then the next one is to repel Lu Bu's forces. Once again, story related, can't be missed. And then the next one is another mission specific achievement for defeated 5 foes with a ballista in the Battle of Hulong Pass. I've definitely not said that right, but we'll leave it at that. So throughout this mission, you're going to see like a lot of enemies using like ballistas, and obviously they shoot you with the ballistas. You need to kill the enemies who are on the ballistas, and then you can then use them. They are limited to 3 shots per ballista, and you need to kill 5 enemies with that. I did get this achievement in the mission again, so if you need help with that, you can look at my playthrough. But it's pretty self-explanatory. You just need to, kill 5 enemies with a ballista, really. The next one is another mission-related achievement, and this is Save the Captured Hermits in Fall of the Corrupted Eunuch. So in this mission, you'll come to like the 2nd battle flag. There's like a red mermaid type enemy there. Sort of to the left of that, there's gonna be like a cell with like the jail cell keys in. We need to get those jail cell keys and then go back up towards the 1st battle flag. And in a cell near the 1st battle flag, you'll find the hermit. Unlock his cell, speak to him, and then the achievement will unlock. Pretty easy, really. And you'll probably need the cell keys regardless, because there's quite a few sort of good things locked behind the cell, so probably pretty easy one to get, to be honest. The next one is for decorating your first item at the forge. So once you get the blacksmith through story progression, you just go and apply a new cosmetic look to your item, essentially. Pretty easy. The next 2 are both story related and can't be missed, so I won't go through them because, again, you can't really miss them. The next one is to embed your first jewel at the forge, and basically, again, unlock the blacksmith through story progression, and then just change one of like the special effects on your items, just to a different one, essentially. And then that achievement will unlock. The one after that is for swearing an oath with Sun Jian, which is, again, story related, can't be missed. The next one is also story related and can't be missed again. The next one is one that I've done a guide for on the channel, which is interacting with the 5 phases for the first time, and this will very likely come through natural progression, but basically you've got to like negate an enemy's element using sort of like the opposite element. So lightning is negated by like metal, so like poison, which is what I did. So if you use like poison bubbles against like an electric enemy, that will sort of like negate that as well. So pretty easy, and obviously there is an actual guide for that on the channel as well, like a good place to do it if you don't have the achievement. The next one is to reach level 15, which again, pretty easy. It comes hand in hand with the level 80 achievement. Don't really need to go through that. And then the next one is another level related achievement, which is defeated all the warlocks performing the ritual in the Valley of Crying Wraiths. So for this one, you're going to come across 6 different warlocks who all appear to be doing like a ritual spell kind of thing. You need to kill all of them before, well, you kill them in the mission. If you don't have it by the time you get towards the final boss, well, towards the boss of that mission, you can sort of like go back and do them. General exploration should get you this, and obviously I did do all of these in my playthrough as well, so any issues you can go look at that. But they are pretty easy to find, to be honest. If you are getting all the battle flags as well, you should definitely get all 6 of those. And the next one is for feeding your first panda. Again, comes hand in hand with the actual complete, will feed all of them, so I won't really go through that one. The next one is to land 50 fatal strikes. So, all enemies have a spirit bar that works similar to like a stagger bar. Once the bar's full, they become staggered, and you can perform a fatal strike, dealing sort of like massive damage. Do it 50 times. Achievement's yours. That will definitely come through a sort of like natural progression. Anyway, so that one's not too hard. Next one is to raise your morale rank to rank 20. So all areas have a morale rank. This is basically the number above your health bar. Killing enemies and collecting marking flags will increase this. And once you reach 20 in an area, the achievement will unlock. And again, if you are sort of like exploring the areas, it will very, very likely come through natural progression anyway. Another thing to note on that is, if you are struggling to get it for whatever reason, if you use Elixir, I believe that increases your morale rank, so you could just do it that way as well. The next one is to upgrade your first piece of equipment. Again, comes in hand in hand with like the +9s. Just upgrade a piece of armor or weapon at the blacksmith. Next one is story related, can't be missed, won't go through it. And the next one is exacted vengeance 10 times. So basically, as you progress through the game, you'll see some like purple flags on the floor, indicating like another player's died to an enemy. Go kill the enemy who killed them, and the achievement unlock once you do it sort of 10 times. The enemy will have a purple morale rank as well. And also, if you would want to know what enemies killed them, the purple flag will tell you what enemies they have died to, so you can sort of check that as well. The next one is again story related, can't be missed. And then the last, well, not the last one, the next one is when facing enemies, they'll get like a red dot on them, indicating they're going to do a critical blow. Deflect 10 of them, and then that achievement will be yours. And again, that achievement will definitely come through natural progression anyway. Next one is learn your first wizardry spell. Comes hand in hand with the learn them all. Again, just learn the spells in sort of like the battle flag menu. Pretty easy. And then there's obviously the last one / the first one you will unlock really is raising your first battle flag. You get this like in the tutorial prologue area. So again, you're not really going to miss that one. And then once you've done all them, congratulations, you have completed all of the achievements inside Warlong. And hopefully this video has helped at least on a few of the achievements, maybe like the mission related ones. I think maybe the roadmap's not too needed on this game because there's no sort of like missable achievements to get. On sort of like missable achievement games, you know, it's a bit more sort of like prominent and needed, but it's there nonetheless if you guys need it for whatever reason. So like I say, this is my last video for Warlong. The next sort of video on the channel will be another game. I'm not quite decided what the game's going to be yet, but I'll find something and sort of make an achievement guide for that one too. So as always, leave a like, subscribe if you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.